Okay.
Downforce.
This is the combox, Kane.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Yep.
You're good, mate. So, Natu's running no downforce on his car at all. So he's putting no clicks of downforce. It's all at the minimum.
Oh, we can't hear Lash. Painter's a network error with Lashbrook at the moment, so we won't be able to hear him. Bugger.
Oh well.
Don't because he lives out in the country. He lives out in the country, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Live.
Hello.
Hello.
Is that Lashbrook?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, good to see you. I can hear you, man. I just got to turn you up a little bit. Right, how are you, brother?
That's okay.
Yep. I thought that.
Yep. Am I all good?
Yeah, because I had a network error for a minute, but I'll say, yep, you're good.
Okay, righto.
Right, we are live. All right, hang on, I've got to get everyone in here. That's the start.
Spud, it's been a while since I've talked to you, mate. I don't think we've actually talked to each other on a microphone since Porsche Cup round 1. We were both, actually, yeah, because I didn't finish on the podium, but I was invited into that. Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked to you.
Yeah, bro.
Bloody long time since I've talked to Spud.
Now I'm just letting everyone know we're live.
Okay.
You just hear me on a weekly basis.
Oh man, the amount of crap we were asking the ME6 bot.
Oh man.
God.
I was cracking up so hard. I was laughing my chops off. Seriously, scrolling through that.
I was rolling on my bed laughing. It was so funny.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Kyson TY, also known as Fish, or also known as Sharky, alongside Nick Patasso and Spud 666. So I'll just call him Patasso, and we got Chris Lashbrook of Smashing Apex next to me as well. How are we all doing, boys?
Pretty well. Just relaxing.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Hello, everyone.
Yep.
Should be an exciting last session of qualifying here.
Yep. And
big hitters are in tonight.
Yep. Yeah, we got the big boys in here, so let's hope it's as entertaining as last night's qualifying. If can anyone will somebody beat Sharky's 324 in LMP or Natu's 358? Well, we shall find out in a minute's time.
More precisely, 358.594 was Natu's time.
100%.
Mine was 324.030.
Yep.
Yeah, we've seen some
quality
times so far. That time by Sharky was absolutely unbelievable, and seen a sub 4 minute in the GT3 cars as well. So they've got some speed.
I'm pretty sure D Kong's not supposed to be here. Yep. I'm getting him out of here. Right. Okay.
Quick, give him the foot.
Yep. I booted him out like a secchi at a freaking Sydney nightclub. So.
Oh yeah, bro.
I love that.
That time, Mr. Atkinson, was done in a Corvette.
Yeah. Natu's running the vet.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
It's going to be Porsche versus Corvette at the moment, so it's just like real life.
Yeah, there's no. Are there any other cars?
There's I know Harcourt's or Rusty Nuts is driving the Beamer. Like the MNR boys are driving the Beamer. That's basically it. Rightio.
There's no drivers that are really running the Ferrari because I guess everyone just doesn't want to really drive a Ferrari
because it's sketchy.
Porsche. And like I said, I think we're only seen one BMW from MNR, and other than that, it's just about more or less going to be likely a Corvette versus Porsche show.
Rightio, guys, we're going to get underway.
Both are fairly balanced cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Rightio, this is the qualifying 5, the last of our qualifying before the guys get ready for the whole week to get ready to tackle Le Mans. And for those who are watching for the first time, feel free to give myself and the Trackstars Racing Series a like, comment and subscribe to support my channel and their channel very well, as I'm doing this on the behalf of Trackstars.
Shit, I haven't subscribed. I've done it now.
Thank you, brother.
35th subscriber. You're the 35th subscriber.
Yeah, I'm going to do a 50 subscriber special if I'm trying to think what I should do for that. I've been told that I should drive the Porsche VGT around the track.
Oh,
power's been disconnected.
You're going to have to red flag this.
Yeah.
Powers.
Okay, powers has been disconnected.
Damn, Powers, what have you done?
We've had a few technical gremlins this evening. The game is throwing everything at us to try slow us down as much as possible.
Do you want any of us to give full lap rundowns? Like you ride on a lap with somebody?
Yeah, I'll let Sharky run that one instead of myself.
Oh, okay. I was gonna suggest.
The problem with this now is that I've got to reset the whole lobby.
No, you just cancel. You can just cancel the race.
You just cancel quality. You just wait.
There's no red X.
Wait 40 minutes though. You gotta wait 40 minutes until you can cancel it.
That means no. Everyone said we got to reset. Oh, I remember we got to reset the whole lobby.
Ah shit. Oh well.
Bugger. Right. Anyways, we're gonna go on an unplanned break. We'll be back in a jiffy, fellas. Don't go anywhere.
Good luck, boy, Begum.
Yep. Rightio, fellas, welcome back. Unfortunately, we had the red flag qualifying due to a disconnection. It's always frustrating when that happens to somebody, and we have two noobs trying to gate crash the party. We can just
kick them. Just kick them.
Just boot them like a Sydney security guard on Darling Harbour, so...
Damn, Tyler, mate, your one-liners lately have been pretty sharp. You had a pretty good one the other day as well, mate. I was absolutely cracking up.
Yep.
Mate, we're here in the making.
Yeah, sharper than a knife, mate, so...
I was doing a couple lobby. I was doing a couple lobby races around Le Mans today. In just GT cars.
Yeah.
Bloody down the mile. I was driving the Merc too.
Yeah.
Down the straight, I met up with Lucas 36. You guys remember him?
Oh, Lucas from GTC.
Yeah. I went up alongside him, and he put me alongside the wall, up against the wall like a femboy in a furry convention. What? Yeah, no, well...
Oddly specific, mate.
Well, no, there's a lot of bad blood between us, and it started to sour at Autopolis in Porsche Cup, really. But I found it a little funny. Because he still ended up binning it out of Mulsanne curve because he got in the power too early. He was in the M6, just for context. Or for...
Bloody hell, all these... Yeah. Oh, because I'm turning into open lobby, I'm an absolute buffoon.
Yeah, mate, it's fine.
Tyler,
yep.
You're going to be chasing a bit there, so I would, yep.
Yeah, man. We're trying to get qualifying underway once we get everybody in.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we'll be going. So we'll be going at quarter past 8, my friends. So once everybody ticks ready, I just love when Trapper just comes in saying John's a Stingray. He's just referring to John Shepherd's.
John's a what?
A Stingray. No, it's a bit of an inside joke we have here at Trackstars.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that. Yep.
Yeah. Rightio. So we haven't started the race yet, so you can stay in the comm box for a bit, but boy Begum.
Is that someone else in the lobby with you? Kaizen? Is that somebody else? Who else is there?
That's basically it, guys.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's in our lobby, so it's fine. Everyone's just typing in R once they got their tunes and stuff sorted.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2,
all right.
3, 4, 5. Hang on. 1,
yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 R's.
Oh, honestly, like.
Boy, we're going to be commentating, so if you want to jump out,
yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Yep.
Yeah, if you just want to.
Yeah, because we're live streaming this as well from on the behalf of Trackstars, so.
Oh,
thanks, mate.
Good luck.
Good luck, brother. Yep. Yep. Rightio. We're going to be kicking off in 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So we are now back online. Yeah, for those who have jumped in late, we've had to red flag the session due to one of our drivers disconnecting. Like it's typical PD fashion is like when no one jumps out of the pits and the service decides to blow a gasket the minute everyone gets started. So hopefully the service gets sorted, Mr. Kaz. So.
Well, geez, we're starting in. Did you say we're starting in 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's 8:30. Unless Spud says otherwise. Oh, Jesus.
Spud.
So far we've got 10 R's. Now we've got 11.
Oh, okay.
So I just have to
more.
I have to do crowd control.
So we've got 11 hours, so we're missing 1.
Jeez, everyone's here.
And then we're good to go.
Yep, he's out.
I don't know why people join this stuff when they're clearly not in the league. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I've got the wind still on. Jeez, I got...
No, you can edit that. Just turn equal conditions mode off.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get... Alright. Right, that's everything.
But I have to put it in their settings again. Oh, no.
You're in shambles, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm getting sacked after tonight, so I'll be kicked out of the server the way it's going. Yeah. Curry had to ruin it.
Watch 60 minutes as well, mate.
So for all those guys had their tune-ins ruined, you can blame Curry on that one, or you can blame me at the same time.
Damn.
This is why you gotta screenshot your saves, Kings.
Shit.
Honestly,
I know my tune off by heart now. I've put it in so many times. I know it.
This is just GT7 shithousery going on right now, so...
I need to fix it.
Yeah. Oh, PD.
This is why our job sometimes gets very frustrating at most times.
Yeah.
Someone catches you out on doing something where you make a mistake and then everyone just has to resets everyone, doesn't keep on the grid. Like GT Sport, like you could actually stay on the track, you just change the setting and it wasn't an issue at all.
Yeah.
The only time I should reset you and unenter you is if they like change car category or car regulations or something like that.
I think this issue is just getting compounded as well. The fact that we do have BOP and you can't, and you can't load the settings shit, which I think is pretty average because I think there's, especially in the there's a lot of people that have BOP on, but there's some tuning allowed, so it's just a giant waste of time.
Yeah.
Right, we got 2 R's at the moment. Oh, for Christ's sake, no more bloody streakers, mate. It's like they're going to jump on the track and try and run a marathon down the Huenadera Straight. But at least they can just cut the chicanes better than the cars, so...
Good news is, the more people you kick, the less likely people are to join back in.
Do you want me to jump in the lobby, Tyler, so it'll be maxed out at... Oh, no, wait, it's 14. Never mind. I thought it was 15.
Yeah. All right. Just let me know when everyone's ready, Spud, because I'm trying to play crowd control here with the streamers.
All good.
Yep.
I'll let you know.
Well, the way this combo's going, this is basically MSR TV the way it's going, so... We're going to be tune on our boy Rudsy and HC Lewis. Nah, sorry, boys.
I can't wait for Classics on Thursday night, though.
No, JDM Master, you are not welcome. You can... We are waiting for Powers to tick in. Honestly, if he's not ticked in, we're going without him.
Who?
Powers. Or
Oh, shit. I'll let him know.
Yeah, he's got to tick in.
Oh, come on, man. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Right, so only wait
enter the settings.
Powers and then we're good.
And put in R in the...
For Christ's sake.
What?
There's more bloody freaking... it's just these noobs just keep trying to enter the lobby.
Okay, you should have just entered now, I'm pretty sure. It says he just entered.
Okay, right. We're going now.
He needs to put in his tune.
I'm just going to go starting soon. I'll give him a minute.
Where are you watching this? Doesn't matter, just bloody... Powers, it doesn't matter where I'm watching it from, just bloody...
Yeah, but it's... I'm just trying to play crowd. I should have just put in as friends only, but either way, they still try and jump in.
Yeah.
Alright, he's in.
Alright, just kick...
all the R's sorted.
Just kick it off.
Alright.
Now we're good.
There we go.
Alright.
Powers is ready to throw down.
Alright, we're wishing everybody good luck and we are going.
Come on.
Once again, viewers, I apologise for the delay. These disconnection things just seem to happen very commonly in this game. Hopefully, no more. For Christ's sake.
The Matteo Bonotto of streamers.
Alright, any day now, GT7. Here we go.
Well, it's always random as to who gets out of the pits first, which is kind of annoying.
So we got Boyd Begum. I'm just trying to get their real names out on the...
You don't need to worry about the people jumping in the lobby. They'll just go away when they know qualifying's on the way. So don't worry about them.
And you might not have to kick any more people because normally if they see that something started, they just get impatient and just leave. Yeah.
So so starting for CP in the LMP class, we have Galang, if I've got that right, for CP Motorsports in the LMP car. Then we have Mitchell Curry, the reigning Formula 2 champion in Trackstars formulas. Absolute dominant season from him in that series. So well done to him. Next we have Kane Patton from the Black Rose Racing team. So we'll see how he goes. Now we have a GT runner from Modest Brewery PH Esports. We have Rudzi, also known as Paul Rudd, but he prefers to be called Rudzi in Car 84. Running that Porsche 911, which actually looks quite a spectacular livery on that one. Then we have another MSR driver, is Patrick Trappett. And once again, he's the main series Formula Trackstars champion. So well done to him. And we have Lewis Atkinson, another Mashbuds Racing driver, currently running his looks like his Sector 1 livery. So then we have Justin Baker from It's Racing Esports in the GT class. In the typical green and white from the It's Racing in car number 95. Followed by Matthews for BCG. So he's going to be partnering Ridwan in that car. Then we have Revs or Rice running in the Porsche. For once I get his team, CBR Racing. So he's racing alongside a few drivers. Then we have Black Rose Racing. We have Wade Von Juvie in that Piranha style Porsche livery. Then the third driver in It's Racing Esports running a Porsche style livery is Cohen Sharp. And then lastly we have Kuslek, also known as Isa Powers, running the Corvette. So he'll be partnering Kevin Cooper and Nato Lee. So that's your field, ladies and gentlemen. So the rest of the com box, what do you reckon? Who's going to be dominating this lobby?
Well, first name you got to throw up there is Curry. Again, very quick, very fast, and very consistent. We saw it in the formulas how quick he was, and not only just over one lap, but over a significant distance as well. And very long track, very demanding track, and you can lose a second or gain a second just from minor mistakes. So we're going to expect him to be pretty quick, especially in these style of cars as well. But Trappett's going to be a factor as well in the GT car. So we've got a lot of talent in here, and I think
Sharky, we can take us through a lap, my friend. As Curry, we're on board with Mitchell Curry.
Now, okay.
Yep. Sorry.
Oh crap! My thing is buggered.
Alright, well we'll come back.
Do it next lap.
Alright, we'll jump on board with Trappett with that one. So we're going to go on board with Curry here. As he's going on the Juanadera Straight, if I've pronounced that right, going into the first chicane. They've been added since basically the 1980s. So prior to the 1980s, it used to be just one straight line with a lot of massive incidents and lots of fatal accidents, sadly. But hence why they've added the chicanes for safety reasons. But it didn't stop. It didn't stop Mark Webber from flying his CLK GTR up the hill. So.
was turning back the clock, or Webber.
Yeah.
They added them after 1989 when the Sauber C9 reached 400 k's an hour in qualifying.
Yeah. Jesus.
And after that, they would not sanction any race on a track that with a straight longer than 2 miles or 2 kilometres or something like that. So they had to put the chicanes in, so they would sanction it as they could sanction proper races on the track.
Yep.
And so that's why the Sauber C9 is iconic.
Yep.
Go the Sauber.
Yep. Yeah, and also, and that's hence why in Mount Panorama they've got on Comrade Straight they had to add the chase for safety reasons as well, and part of that 2 kilometre rule. Yeah.
Yep. This Toyota,
I can't remember if it's 2 kilometres or 2 miles.
So Curry's about to approach Indianapolis and Arnage section of Le Mans. It's like the key to, like I said, with my past streams, the key to nailing this track is just trying to get those nailing the track limits without getting a penalty. Because this track in Gran Turismo in general, it is very notorious for track limits, as some of the guys that have ran who've seen it.
Yep. Not only that, Tyler, but just corner exit speed. There's a lot of slow corners here where you really got to get the power down as efficiently as possible to not lose any time and also do it cleanly. And there'll be a lot of time made up as well, especially in these Toyota hypercars. These are very dodgy under brakes compared to the previous spec that's in Gran Turismo. But I mean, to get that car straight, to not lose it on the rear, and also just to hammer it down. It's a challenge, I think, for anyone driving it, especially the race. Right,
we're about to see what Curry's going to perform. We're looking at a free 26.9, so that's a brilliant start from Mitchell Curry, as you would expect.
Do you want me to do the thing?
Yeah.
That's a very strong start there by Curry.
But, we're going to go on with Trap It.
Like you were saying with the car's corner and entry and exits, we saw a few drivers last time in the real world Le Mans that just happened only a few hours ago, like only just well over a day ago. And we saw a few drivers, especially exiting out of Indianapolis and then going into Arnage. We saw a lot of mistakes there. We actually saw Antonio Felix Acosta actually get a bit of a snap oversteer and just smash the barrier on the right hand side in his Jota car, and then as well we saw especially Buemi in the Car 8 Toyota Gazoo Racing go off at Arnage, so it's really tricky. These drivers are really pushing their limits, especially when it comes to a stage where you're trying to play your strategies out, you're just trying to get into a rhythm, try to catch the driver ahead of you, but then as well mistakes creep in, and that's something that we're going to expect in the Trackstars 8 hour. You know, drivers really want to push the limit of their cars, but you have to be more or less kind of conservative depending on where you are in the standings.
Yeah. And with Sharky, now take us through the lap now if you're ready.
I was going to be ready, but we've missed a few corners. Basically, I'll give a rundown down the straight. So first chicane, you're straightening yourself up before the first total board on the outside. You've got to brake as close to the outside as you possibly can. Get over the curves. Check for a split section to see if your rear's bottoming out, because that is key before you put on the throttle. Otherwise, you will step out worse than you want to. Exit the chicane. Take the next two slight S section tight. Then go through. There's the left-hander. Try not to use too much curb and throttle at the same time. You will spin. Up over the crest. You want to back off the throttle slightly, as this car does lack downforce. It will spin. Through Tete Rouge. Dab the brakes. Chuck it through into fourth. Get over. Take as much of the inside and outside curb as you possibly can. Down the first part of the 100-ish straight. First chicane and second chicane. You're pretty much doing the same thing, only they go in opposite direction as you go along. You're braking, you find your reference, and you try and take off as much of the curb as you possibly can, because taking track limits is key, because they're off cambered and they're creepy little sons of bitches that can ruin your lap. I feel they're the worst corners for me around this track. And now, as we just come past Mulsanne corner, try and get the rotation in a low speed through second gear, And try and be brave on your exit. Try and be brave in second gear, but also try not to spin your car out. It's so easy to do. And now we're on our way to Indianapolis and then Arnage. As you're going over the kink, once you meet the apex of that kink, you brake, downshift really quickly, hold it in third. I like to hold it in third in this car. And as soon as the guardrails on the outside, as you've gone off, as soon as the guardrails change pattern, that's when I like to brake, down to first gear, but then quickly up to second. Get on the throttle as quick as you possibly can. Try not to hit the fence when you're trying to use the outside curve. And into the Porsche curves, there's a little green patch on the outside that I like to use. It's just, you dab the brakes, go down as many gears as you like. Try and hold 220 k's an hour through there. That's kind of my number. And then through the rest, you're sort of balancing your throttle and brake through the rest of the Porsche curves. And for the last bit, that's important because for the run to the forward chicanes, hold in fourth, try not to take so much exit as you will get a penalty. And through the forward chicanes, again, like the very first chicane, the Dunlop chicane, try to not let your car bottom out on the throttle. And yeah, that's a lap of Le Mans.
Rightio, we're going to go through the people who have passed their lap. So Curry is fastest in LMP of 3:26.9, followed by Trapp, who's around 4.5 seconds behind with a 3:31. Then we have Kane Patton in the Black Rose Racing with 3:31.7, followed by Garlang for CP with 3:33.8. Then we have Cohen Sharp with 3:57.1, so he's definitely going to have to pick up the pace sooner or later if he wants to have any chance for his team to be starting up, as one of their drivers failed to attend the last session and they'll be serving a 5-minute penalty due to absence.
Keep an eye on this lap here from Aidan Matthews in the car 14 BCG Racing. Has just gone over a second fastest on his personal best. He's about to creep into the 59s quite easily, but if you can find some extra pace coming through to the forward chicane on this last little section here, we see Lewis Atkinson's just jumped ahead, but Matthews is going to come through onto the start-finish straight. We'll get into the 58s, 59, 59.3, so a really solid time there by Matthews for BCG Racing. So
he's coming
one of the drivers
to
get into the 59s tonight. So very, very strong effort there by Matthews. Lewis, who put in a good lap there, 4-minute .574.
Oh, he just gets it wrong there.
Got it eclipsed by Matthews, and Matthews is a very strong driver. He's actually one of the, he's the 2021 Le Mans winner back in this same car, actually, for BCG Racing. He had himself alongside Norm, and he had Jono Stankowski, and as well as himself, the three-man team in the LMP Toyota 50 TS050. He actually got into that car, and they absolutely smashed the field there on that day. And now he's just got his car back into the GT class, giving it another crack here at Trackstars for the 8-hour Le Mans series.
I can tell this 14 car is going to be strong in the GT class. They've got two other strong drivers, such as Ridwan and Meta 7 Gear.
Yeah, those two guys are really quick.
So, yeah, I can see that being a strong contender.
Yeah, Matthews is a very capable driver, and no matter what car he drives, he runs his own league. He runs it with Liam Tame and Viper Z. They both run their Race on Oz league on the Sunday nights as well. But he's got a very strong crew in BCG Racing. You've got the likes of him, you've got Liam, you've got Matt Simmons, you've got just all top caliber former World Tour drivers and online World Tour drivers. So it's a very formidable team. And for a guy, and for him to make his comeback in Trackstars where we last saw him in our Enduro series last year in the 2022 Touring Cars Championship, where he partnered alongside Speedy Tyres in the Car 41. So some very good driving in that series, and as well, he's showing the pace already so far in this session.
Don't mind me yawning, sorry, I'm just like 8:45. Yeah, I'm getting a bit tired. But yeah, can see this being a very strong car for this weekend. Mitch Curry, what's his best time so far?
3:26.9.
Oh, okay. So people are getting very close. People are getting close to where we were. We saw who was it for Black Rose that in last session who pipped Karama's time by 12 thousandths. Wasn't by much.
Pretty sure that was James Lee.
No,
Jimmy Superfly.
Ward.
Oh, Ward. That was Ward.
Ward, that's it.
Ward got the 26.1 last time out. Jimmy Lee got a 26.3. Obviously that was where Ward was actually, as we saw in that session, as you guys mentioned, he's very conservative in that last section of the track, and he definitely could have got himself into the 25s. But I think he just wanted to play it safe, and got himself into the 3-minute 26s, which is still a very strong time. 26, because that's going to definitely propel the Robo Sport Racing Car 69 up the pecking order. May not be in contention for pole position, but it all depends on the average of all the drivers.
Lewis is ahead of Matthews. Lewis is ahead of Matthews now. 3:59.1 from HC Lewis. And Matthews is the fastest in GT class in this session right now. He's on provisional pole in this session.
Okay.
Lewis is very strong when it comes to a GT car. He loves when it comes to GR3 cars, and he said to me earlier yesterday, he actually preferred to drive the LMP cars, but then again his teammate Pat Trapper just talked to him and said like, hey, do you want to swap so I can jump in the LMP cars and you can jump in your favourite GT car? And he said, yeah, sure. And he had no hesitation whatsoever, so we did the swap at MSR, and so far it's paying dividends for Lewis, who is currently on the fastest in this session in qualifying 5.
Yeah, look,
I've had some wicked battles with him. He's pretty quick. He's very quick. But yeah, I was just saying, the Black Robo Sport Racing, they might get pole. All of their drivers have said at least 3:26s, correct?
Yeah.
Well, it won't be us then, because Ando had a 3:29 flat.
Yeah, and without practice too.
He had like 2 hours of practice. He didn't have much. He had 2 hours, if not less. So, and Karama got a 3:26.1. I got a 24 flat. So it'll be close, but those guys will probably be ahead at this stage.
All right, so it looks like Garlang and Trappett's just hit a 3:28, so he's closing down Curry now. So followed by
Garlang. A little bit of pace has Pat Trappett, and he's only 1.2 behind Curry, and he's nearly actually 1.2 or 1.1 behind his teammate in Dalzell, who jumped in the qualifying 3 last night. So he's not too far behind his teammate. So as a bit of a late substitute in the cars, he definitely had to go return from his teammate just to help him out with the balance. But so far, it takes him a little while, but it's a 3-minute 28. And you can see on his lap times, he's just getting quicker and quicker. So it's all about when he's going to come into the pit lane, maybe put on fresh tyres, and then go again.
Yeah. Yeah, look, when I look back on on Q1 when I qualified, I reckon I could have, because I probably ran just at that, had too much downforce on the Corvette, and probably I could have gotten into the 4 minutes just, but oh well, we'll see how we go on race day. Like to say, races are not always winning qualifying, so.
Nah, mate, this is 8 hours. Come on, this is 8 hours. It's going to be
a long session, absolutely.
Yeah.
But so far, Boy Bagum is actually currently sitting in 3rd place with his fastest times of 3-minute 29.2. So he's only just less than a second behind Trappett. So it's a debut series for Boy Bagum. So he's actually doing a really good job. And then down in 12th place, we actually see Justin 930. So, and Justin Blaker. So this is a driver that's actually been part of the Trackstars family for for quite some time. I believe it's since the late 2020, early 2021 onwards, before he ventured off to do his own thing and just focus on himself. But every time there's an endurance series on Gran Turismo Sport, or even now Gran Turismo 7, he always decides to come back and have a bit of a run. So it's good to see, always good to see a familiar face back in Trackstars in Justin 930. And yeah, he's a very strong driver. So early days for him. He's only just getting used to the game physics, but we'll be able to see we'll see some good lap times coming from his end. But he hasn't really set a competitive lap in. He seems to be getting a lot of time penalties, so he's not really able to set fast laps at the moment.
Yeah, like I said, he's probably just trying to test where the track limits are on this track, as, being notorious for track limit penalties, and, he's just trying to find balancing out where he can push and where he can't push. And we've just seen Ruddy pull a 404.8 from Rudd, so... Go.
No, I was just going to say, and Von Duvy's actually just, he's sitting up in third place, racing for Black Rose Racing. Very surprised that he actually didn't have enough time to put a WTC racing in for the Le Mans 8 hours. So very interesting tactic there. Maybe their boys are really focusing on getting their touring car season underway, and they've just given their drivers a bit of a break, do what they want to do what they need to do in other forms of league racing, or just rest the mind, and then they get themselves ready for touring car season racing in both TS touring cars and TS2 and even TS3. As we see, Justin actually set himself a lap time as a 4:03, so he's getting some laps in already, and he's currently sitting fourth behind Von Duvy.
And didn't he get a penalty?
He did get a penalty, yes. So
4:03, that's all right if he's only just getting used to the game.
Yeah. He's had a bit of practice. I think once they introduced him into the lineup, I literally the next day when I jumped on the game, I just saw him straight away. I was just like, that's a familiar name to be back on for Trackstars and for the endurance series. Good to see him back there.
Yeah, it was a bit the same for Ando. Like he after last night, this morning I saw him been practicing, trying out strategies all morning, and he was waiting for me to show up so he could test pit transit times and all this other stuff. No spoilers, by the way. I'm not saying anything, but
yeah,
he was committed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Matthews is just coming through. He hasn't set competitive lap time there. He's actually 1.4 down, so he's definitely not got his tyres into temperature. And that's what I've noticed, fellas. There, like, obviously, I'm not competing in this event. You'll be hearing me in the commentary box on the Trackstars Race Series YouTube channel. But I've noticed with the tyre warmers, it takes such a very long time, especially on the hard tyres. They wear a lot, but it is a very long circuit. But the tyre temperatures are so low. So what could it be? Like, is it just because there's just not enough corners? There's a lot of straights. Maybe the drivers are not doing much to actually warm the tyres up earlier.
I don't really notice it, if I'm totally honest, but I'd say if you want to get technical and it is noticeable, I'd say maybe yes, there are a fair few straights to cool the tyres down, but at the end of the lap, there's a lot of high-speed areas where that's where the tyres get the warmest. So it's not so much hairpins. It's when you get sweeping sections like the Porsche curves and you're trying to wrangle the steering, that's when the tyres heat up and fast. But, yeah, I'm not really a person that notices that sort of stuff.
Yeah, interesting.
At least not, yeah.
Oh, Lewis has had a moment out of Arnage. Yeah, it's the thing with the Corvette, that if you slam the throttle too hard, the car just goes. On those hard tyres, especially when they're cold. And the one thing I've noticed, Nick, is that when you have to get a few laps in before you get those tyres warm, because they just take so long to warm up.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can definitely see a few drivers just really struggling to get their cars into the rhythm, especially around, especially when it comes to lap traffic, and that's actually a very important thing here when it comes to endurance racing. That. The LMP cars obviously far superior, faster than the GT3 cars. So, but as we've run it as you run it in Le Mans style spec or WEC racing, that the GT cars have the right of way, they can take their own racing line. It's just about the LMP cars just to try and avoid them and just try and negotiate kind of like essentially, well, lap traffic, but slower lap traffic because there's a huge speed differential between them. As we can see here, Rudsy's just down in P11. Is just really struggling to get his car into the working temperatures. His tyres are now a little bit warmer now, so you might be able to find some competitive lap times here. And then unfortunately, Rice down in 12th place, the last of the runs, only set one lap time in, actually a 4:08 on his second lap. So he hasn't had too many lap times running as of yet. So wait for him to move up potentially further up the grid. But Courier just came into the pit lane and still getting on a fresh set of boots. A little bit of fuel went into his car. Trappett is now on a hot lap as he's coming through, as he's only just 0.064 down.
Oh, he's just gone a bit wide there.
He might get away with that. He actually has. So Trappett's just exploiting the track limits there.
Yeah, it's very easy to get a penalty at Turret Rouge. Like, if you just get the whole car, pretty much the whole car on there, PD love to slap you on the back with a half a second penalty.
The track limit there is yellow and blue outside curb. You can't have all wheels beyond that. And if you manage to and you also have to be aware that at the end of the curb, if you've still got all four wheels behind the white line, like if you're trying to take the outside and you're not on the curb anymore and all your cars beyond the white line, you'll get slapped with a penalty as well. So it's not just about going out wide, it's also trying to get back on the track as well after you do so. If you do the first part correctly, you've also got to do the second part correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. When you nail that, you've got a good run out coming through there.
You've got a head start on it. You've got a head start on the straight, basically. Sorry, mate.
All right. So one thing I really want to talk about is the rising of PH Esports. Patar. So I'd like to elaborate on this as they're close to the MSR family.
Yeah, absolutely. So with both Purton and Hedges, obviously, hence the acronym PH. As we saw in the Formula 3 Championship, we saw Purton take the championship win in Formula 3, and then his teammate in Hedges got P3 overall, only separated by James from WTC Racing. And the boys, they came to me, essentially, they were very eager to be jumping into the Le Mans 8 Hour because they were just very interested in trying something new. This is actually the first time they've done an endurance series with Trackstars Racing Series. They didn't compete with us in 2021, and they came up to me and they said, well, we thank you so much for the hospitality in MSR, but we're going to try to look at doing our own little ventures. And formerly they had PHG, but they dropped one of the letters in that acronym, and they created PH Esports with Motors Brewery supporting the guys in that team. And especially now it's basically an all Kiwi team. So unfortunately for Rudsy, he's the only Aussie piloting that Porsche at the moment, so it feels a little bit left out there. But I guess in a way it's kind of like the rugby. You got two Kiwis ousting and an Australian in that car. So I feel a little bit hard for Rudsy, but he's doing a good job here. It was actually 1.2 up on his time, so it'll be interesting to see how he takes his Ford chicane here. So he's taking it nice and easy, not being too aggressive. Just slap the curbs there and then slap that chicane, plant the throttle on the right, on that right foot, and he's only just gone 0.6 faster. So 4:04, he definitely had a lot more time in him, maybe just a bit too conservative, but he's just feeling the car under his right foot. So and essentially PH Esports are looking to venture out, and they're now trying out for the TS2 touring cars with both Purton and Hedges giving it a red hot crack in that series. So
I'm going to be looking forward to seeing him coming from as Matthews has done a 3:59 flat. So
just puts him ahead of Lewis, and he's actually right behind him as well. So Lewis can see Matthews right in his front windscreen as they going into turn one through the Dunlop corners. It's very close between these two are very competitive. When I've seen these two race each other, they are very competitive drivers, and we see Justin actually gain himself a few positions there. 4:01 He's only just 2/10 behind Von Duvey, who's so far the fastest Porsche in qualifying 5 for Black Rose Racing. But It's Racing Esports Car 95 looking to be putting themselves in a very strong position when it comes to the overall pole position when the points and when all the times get added up. We'll find out in due course of who will be starting the great Le Mans 8 Hour hosted by Trackstars Racing Series next Sunday night on the 18th of June.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting, like for myself and everyone else on the grid, you know, because this is a team effort now. So it's not just about the driver in the car. It's not just those fast guys who are jumping in for to finish the job. It's those guys who are jumping in the midway point, just keeping the car on the track, no silly mistakes. I think where the race really going to be won is that night session and trying to keep those tyres warm, because when the sun goes down, the temperature drops. Yeah, Grid One's just told me that Corvette's the current GT champion, so it is very...
You guys do this race every year?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
No, so it's very fitting that the Corvette is actually winning this as well, so...
Yeah, if he's talking about the real world, then yes, but if he's going back through the Trackstars history, it was actually the Porsche from CP Motorsports in Car 18. We actually saw the Huso brothers, who were very strong drivers in that lineup. All, three brothers in the same room, all racing with each other, and they both managed to win the great race for CP Motorsports. So it was a very, very lovely occasion for them as a family of brothers, and yeah. But yeah, in the real world, the Corvette is definitely one. I think it was car 33, I believe, was of that Corvette. So very strong showing by that team, or by that manufacturer rather. So yeah, but like I said, it's definitely going to be like a Corvette versus Porsche show. I think we only saw one BMW from M&R Racing.
Yeah.
And no Ferraris. So very interesting to see who'll take out bragging rights, obviously for the win. And then obviously, of course, for bragging rights of who's the fastest manufacturer around Le Mans.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a very fun series to be a part of, So, going to give the good old Vetty a go. There's been a disconnection from Revs from Rice. I'm not sure if he's left or he's disconnected or he's retired the car.
Not too sure. But that'll be whatever time he got. That'll be his lap time that he's set.
Yeah.
For the evening, so very unfortunate for him. It's only about 7 minutes to go.
Yeah.
As we see Ruddy pull into the pit lane on the secondary camera, but yeah, so unfortunate for him. That's his session over, and that's something for those guys to really try and work on a race car, essentially, for a week's time. Because I guess for you, Fish, like obviously currently, you're setting the fastest lap time. There's a huge difference between like a quality car and a race car around this track. So what are you kind of looking for when it comes to the race?
Well, I'm looking to still set the same sort of lap times, maybe slightly slower. In terms of how much I use fuel, because we've got a car that's based around straight line speed. So, with some slight instability issues, but the setups I made was built for myself, and I told Ando and Karama they can change it however they like, depending on driver feel, because you also got to take that into consideration, especially with a car like the GR10. Like, it's not a nice car to drive, if I'm being totally honest, but depending on which strategy I do, I'd either like to shave off mainly 1/10 a lap to save an extra lap of fuel, or save a ton of fuel and maybe be 2 or 3 which we take towards the race as to how slow or fast we want to be.
Yeah, just try that fuel management is definitely going to be a key part of this race as well, because forget about the tyres, you just got to worry about keeping them warm. It's just getting the right fuel strategy right, and that's why here at Mash Buds Race we decided on the Corvette, because its ability to fuel save because how torquey the car is.
Isn't there safety cars as well to consider?
Not sure if we're running them, unless Buds says otherwise. So.
I think we might be, but I'm just not 100% sure. So,
because
usually when you get around this game, nowadays it's actually very hard to be getting yourself engine damage, as was clearly demonstrated in our Formula Trackstars event that last year, especially in 2022, when the game was more or less broken, and then they made the damage very sensitive. Every race we saw a safety car in the Formula Trackstars, and then as soon as they heavily modified the damage model where you couldn't get engine damage, we saw basically no safety cars. Which was the last round, but that was only due to a red flag being called out. So unfortunately, So I'm not so sure when it comes to Le Mans. Maybe, but we'll wait and see. Maybe it might be for an opening lap, parade lap or something, formation laps.
Yep.
I only asked. That's another thing you gotta think about, you know.
Yep. So we got 4 minutes. We've got 4 minutes to go, guys. So we're gonna go through the. We can't really see the lap times because people have already reset. So Curry's currently Mitchell Curry's currently the fastest in that Robbo Sports Racing entry for LMP, followed by Patrick Trappett from Ashbuds Racing with P3 for Galang for CP Motorsports, and Curry's just parked it into the pits, but he's just going to go out, which that's his qualifying over. But anyways, then we got Kane Patton from
qualifying done.
Yeah, then we got Kane Patton.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, so we got Kane Patton from Black Rose Race for 3:38. And then that's it for the LMP. So at the moment we got Matthews from BCG with a 3:58.9. So he's really chasing down. But I think he's finished his qualifying because it looks like he's on auto drive.
Yeah, he's just run out of fuel, so that's his qualifying session over. He's not going to be able to get back into the pits and then put on a fresh tank of fuel and some fresh boots. So only Lewis right behind, who just came out last time out, was in the pit lane, and I just almost thought that he was about to run out of time there. So he's actually put on some fresh tyres, a little bit of fuel went in his car, and he's just going to go for this lap and then one more lap. So he's the only shot to try and topple off Matthews and even potentially go faster than Nato from ISA Esports. But as well, I was just about to say, Trappett was actually on a lap there. He was actually going a personal best on Mitchell Curry going through to the Mulsanne Straight. So he's the only driver as well. Like, he's got plenty of time up his sleeve as well. So if he can't get this lap, he can definitely go one more. But he's got 3/10 down on his personal best. So very tricky around this track here. You feel like you're down a few tenths in one section of the track, and then on the back end of the track, you somehow just gain 2 or 3 tenths back. So it always becomes very tricky around Le Mans, to actually get it all right. But I haven't seen too many improvements there from Boyagum in third place for CP Motorsports, and Patton as well. He's only just improved on that last lap there, so he's sort of 3:30.8 on his last lap time. He's actually going green on personal bests. Coming on to Matthews, just finally coming back into the pit lane. That's his session done.
Yep.
So only Lewis there, so he's only got one more lap here. So this is his final lap. He's at 4:25 on that last lap, so this is his only shot to find 1.159 of a second on Matthews. It is very close. To find 0.0159.
And Sharp has now left the lobby, so that's his qualifying session done for LMP. So
he's found a little bit of time. Has Lewis coming onto the Mulsanne Straight for the last time?
Right, we'll jump on board with him.
Yeah, so Von Duvey's coming through Mulsanne Corner onto the back straight that leads towards Indianapolis. He's about to cross through the sector. He's actually gone green as well. Justin Baker's he's finished, sitting in 4th in class, so in that session. Powers from ISA Esports sitting in 9th, and then Rudzi up into 10th place, not able to find any time on his lap time rather. So Trappett's coming through onto the start finish straight. He hasn't found time, but he's only got one more lap here, so he needs to find some more time in his Toyota GR10
Well, stay on board.
Yeah, literally, he's only got about like 15 seconds, so he's just made the finish line, and this will be hopefully a special lap for him for one last crack at trying to find 1.2 on Mitchell Curry, who's leading the way, and he's actually come across the start-finish line as well. So Curry's actually come through right on time, right on cue to set one more lap around here. It's absolutely fantastic.
Spud, do you know what the fuel race and the tyre wear rate happens to be for the Classics race?
Not too sure on that, man. On the Classic ones.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure. Sorry about that.
Nah, you're all good.
Right, Curry's that's retired.
Yeah, Curry's just pulled it back into the pit lane, so that's him done. So only Pat needs to come through, exiting the first chicane of the Mill Sun Street. It's only 0.011 down on his time. It's so close. But we do need to keep our eye on Lewis. He's about to approach Indianapolis for the last time. Von Duve set a 4-minute lap time there, so very strong lap there by Von Duve for Black Rose Racing. Oh, just gets the gravel trap, does Lewis. He's still green, but it's not much. He's only 0.013 up on Matthews. So the Hooncorp Lewis, who races obviously for that car in the Hooncorp car, his team, is trying to power that Corvette up towards the front of this session and just try and claim bragging rights on Matthews, currently in first place in this session as he's coming through to the Porsche curves. We'll find out what the sector times are. Really try and send the car through. He's really low on fuel as well, so this is the lightest he's got the car. It's 0.1 up on his best. Still not enough. He still might just lose out a bit on Matthews, but it's all about just trying to come through this last section of the Porsche curves and then through to the Ford chicane for the last time. Oh, runs the car a little bit wide there. Hopefully doesn't trigger a half-second penalty. So Lewis, can he get himself provisional bragging rights over Lewis and fastest in qualifying 5? We'll find out in due time. He's coming through to the last section of the Ford chicane. Really plant the throttle out. Uses all the track width there. Can he get ahead of him? He does. Just.
Oh, it's 2/10 quicker.
Matthews. Wow.
That's awesome.
0.036
Clutch.
faster than Matthews.
Let's see what trap it's going.
Final sector.
Very strong lap there.
He's lost it.
Oh, he's lost it, unfortunately.
That's his qualifying session over.
That's Trappert out into the gravel trap, and that's his session over. While we look down in third place, Boyagum has got a 1.5 second penalty, so he's done. Patton looks like there's another driver that could come through. We'll check his sector times, see if he's finding any lap times or gaining or losing as he negotiates Porsche curve. But wow, that was a really good lap there by Lewis, really trying to get that Corvette up towards the front.
Yep.
Patton's 3 seconds down, so that's him out.
Oh, that's it.
Wow, interesting. That was a very awesome session there, and so far Curry takes out the qualifying 5 bragging rights, and so does Lewis. So well done to those two boys.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Lewis time is going to be huge for the Mash Buds racing team in the GT class, because it'll boost the time up as well on the starting grid. So we're going to go through the result, I'd say the unofficial results pending stewardship, but we'll say it anyway. So we got Mitchell for qualifying 5. We have Mitch Curry from RSL with a 3:26.9, followed by Patrick Trappert from Mash Buds Racing with a 3:28.2. Then we've Galang from CP Motorsports with 29.227, followed by Kane Patton for Black Rose Racing 3:30.8. And that's it for the LMP cars for the qualifying. Now for the GT class, we have Lewis Atkinson with a 3:58.9, just pipping Matthews in BCG Racing with a 58.9. Followed by Von Duve for Black Rose Racing with a 4:09. Followed by Justin Baker from It's Racing Esports with 4:01.2. Followed by Isa Powers or Kuslet. Apologies for the pronunciation, with a 4:03.8. So he did improve as went on. Then we have Rudzi and Paul Rudd from PHG Esports with a 4:04.1. Then the retirees with Cohen Sharp with a 3:40.7, And rounding out the GT class is Rice with a 4:05.3. So what did you think of that, fellas?
Pretty good. If it's a 3 for Curry for our starting position, if Curry got a 3:26.9, it's going to be insanely close with our squad and their squad. It's going to be ridiculously close.
Yeah, I'll be very excited to see what the grid is going to be like. It's going to be between you and the RSR boys. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a front row battle. And yeah, essentially as well, like even for the I would say for the GT class, I think it's going to be very close between the It's Racing Car 95 and the 14 BCG Racing. I think with that time that Matthews set, I think there's a little bit more consistency around the BCG Racing, so they might be maybe just scraping for that pole position over It's Racing Esports. Well, we'll find out in due time over the next 24 hours.
Right, guys. Yep. That is the end of our broadcast. This has been your host, Kyson TY, or Tyler Lansdale. I'd like to thank Patasso and Fish for jumping on tonight, along with Lashbrook, who left early, unfortunately. But thanks for jumping on, fellas. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no worries. Anyways, that's it from the Trackstars community, and we'll see you at the Classic Le Mans next week, or later this week. Catch you guys, and good night.
See ya.